Boys, I'm the bearer of good news. Downfall of Prime just happened, and that's some good news for this economy. Logan Paul, you deserve it. Ah, he he's been like, many communities better off without that dude, or like with their products. They're scamming people. They they're ruining people's lives. Like like his brother with the boxing thing. I mean, like I respect you getting the hustle, or you getting the bag. Like wow, but at what cost, bro? The whole world hates you. And I mean, in my textbook, it's like as well a definition of selling your soul. I'm not quite sure, but I found a funny video that I want to show you guys. Let's react to that one. Man, they always make good videos. So let's go.
Bottles are selling out in seconds, resale prices are hitting 10x. Yeah, pause right there. Because this is the moment Prime peaked. The hype was so insane, you'd think the drink cured tax problems. Two YouTubers punch each other for a living and somehow built the fastest growing beverage brand ever. And then, everything fell apart. Sales nosedived, lawsuits stacked up, stores went from out of stock to please take one, we'll throw it in a bag. Profits? Down more than 90%.
Ooh,
Something cracked. And the wild part? Nobody noticed until it was
man, I live in Switzerland and we even had it like in a store 5 minutes. All gone. If I really think about it, all gone. And I remember, I think I tried it, and it's absolutely disgusting. I don't know what was in there. Maybe you get different flavored ingredients and different mixed up prime drinks. So like we have a different version of like the one in the US probably. I mean like US has like hella low regulation when it comes to food. Yeah, I know that. It's epic.
already too late. So let's hit play and walk through how Prime went from the internet's golden child to that sad bottle collecting dust next to the discount protein bars. Before Prime was a drink, it was a storyline, one that started long before a single bottle ever hit a shelf. For years, KSI and Logan Paul were full-time internet enemies. These two guys were yelling into cameras, dropping diss tracks, and turning drama into views. Their first boxing match in 2018 sold out 20,000 seats in Manchester Arena and pulled in around 2.25 million live viewers. It also generated over 1.3 million pay-per-view buys and up to $11 million in revenue. Then, in 2019, they did it again. The rematch at Staples Center in LA packed 12,000 fans and had around 2 million PPV buys worldwide. Millions of kids picked sides, Team KSI or Team Logan. So then, in January 2022, these two enemies suddenly went on Instagram saying, "We're actually business partners now, and we made a drink together." For years, the fans had watched them punch each other. Now they were shaking hands and selling bottles. That's why Prime exploded so fast. In its first
It's a smart idea. It's really a smart idea. From the business perspective point, it's smart. But yeah, man, and that's like an illusion. Everything is not like it seems to be.
year at retail, it pulled in about $250 million in sales. By
Damn.
2023, it was on track to pass $1.2 billion in annual
Damn.
revenue. Even in the UK, demand got so crazy. £400 for a 12-pack. This is what happens
But
when you
it's
attach a
disgusting.
product to a storyline that already has tens of millions of viewers and years of emotional buildup. Kids didn't care about electrolyte ratios, they cared that their side, Team Logan or Team KSI, made the better drink, and buying Prime was how you voted. When Prime finally hit the UK in early 2023, the whole thing went nuclear. Stores started putting one bottle limits. Kids were flipping bottles for 10x retail. At that point, it wasn't
For real?
hydration anymore, it was a full-blown underground economy run by middle schoolers. And
For
this is where the
real?
story quietly shifts. Most people buying Prime weren't actually thirsty. They wanted the bottle for their Instagram stories. Some kids were even filling empty bottles with tap water just so that their friends would think they'd scored the rare flavors. But once the novelty faded, something unexpected happened. People actually tasted it, and that's when the cracks showed. Athletes still trusted Gatorade, anyone who wanted caffeine stuck with Red Bull or Monster, and everyone else, they just kept buying whatever tasted better and cost less. For a short moment, Prime looked like the future of beverages, the kind of brand that could bulldoze an entire category. But the second the lines disappeared and the resellers walked away, sales stopped acting like a rocket.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that out.
60% uffinit UV. Jysk, Scandinavian sleeping and living.
That's when the real truth surfaced. Prime's biggest issue wasn't taste, or price, or even the influencers behind it. The real problem showed up once the hype settled. Prime never picked a lane. It tried to be a sports drink, a lifestyle drink, a hydration drink, and an energy drink, all at the same time. That confused everybody, athletes, parents, and even the kids buying it just to film TikTok videos. When Prime Hydration launched, it looked like Gatorade, but it didn't behave like one. When doctors looked at Prime Hydration, most of them said, "This is not a sports drink." And they meant it. Real hydration drinks replace what you lose when you sweat: sodium, carbs, and electrolytes. Prime barely had any of those things. It carried just 10 to 30 milligrams of sodium, almost no sugar, and way more potassium than most athletes actually need. So, coaches hated it. Trainers warned players to avoid it. Some athletes even claimed it made them feel worse, not better, which is the
It's absolutely well deserved, and it's hella good made. I mean, the quality of the video, gotta give it a thumbs up, bro.
exact opposite of what a sports drink is supposed to do. Then Prime Energy launched, and that's when everything truly went nuclear. Each can had 200 milligrams of caffeine, equal to 2 Red Bulls or roughly 6 cans of Coke. Kids were chugging it like it was fruit juice. Schools started banning it out of panic. Parents were posting warnings online. News stations ran full segments treating it like a public health hazard. Prime
Absolutely fair, bro. What the hell? You can't. That's almost drugging kids, bro. I mean, like, a certain group of people with ADHD that is not affected as much by those drinks, and like, I can drink like 10 Red Bulls and not be, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of people who I can drink like 5 espressos, caffeine. It doesn't do that much, bro. But you can't do that. Especially like you abusing the fact that kids are buying you stuff, so you know they're gonna eat it up, and you know they're gonna do everything to get that fucking stuff. Oh, bro, Logan was always like a disgusting human being in my eyes. I don't wish no harm to him, but you gotta wake up, man, and stop treating humans like doormats.
suddenly found itself stuck in a strange no man's land. Too intense for kids, not trusted by athletes, and confusing for everyone else.
No man's land. That was a oh, I love that metaphor, bro.
Humans treating it like a public health hazard. Prime suddenly found itself stuck in a strange no man's land. Too intense for kids, not trusted by athletes, and confusing for everyone else. And then the lawsuits arrived. Claims
Oof.
of PFAS, the so-called forever chemicals, allegedly found in bottles. Questions about
Ooh.
whether the labeling was clear enough. Complaints about how caffeine was disclosed. Even government started poking around to see what exactly was going on. And here's the thing about consumer products. The moment safety becomes a question, hype evaporates almost instantly. But
Yeah.
even that wasn't the final hit. The health
Yeah.
panic was loud, but the real death blow was quieter. Something behind the scenes that revealed exactly why Prime's rise was never built to last. The UK
Ooh,
were the
didn't have.
first big warning sign. Prime's revenue dropped 70% year over year, and profit fell more than 90%. The brand that once couldn't stay on shelves suddenly had warehouses full of products nobody wanted. Then came the supplier drama. Prime owed $68 million to Refresco, one of the companies that helps bottles its drinks. When you're behind on payments that big, it means one thing: cash flow problems. The
Yeah.
hype was huge, but the money coming in wasn't matching the money going out. Prime wasn't built like the Coca-Cola or Pepsi companies that can burn cash for decades. It was built like an influencer drop: big spike and fast fade. And the lawsuits didn't help. Legal fees, label audits, and PR disasters each
Ooh.
drained more focus and more cash. A brand can survive hype, dying, and bad press. But a brand cannot survive all of that, plus collapsing sales, plus financial fires burning behind the scenes. Prime was built on a loud, messy, meme-driven moment powered by kids who treat brands the same way they treat TikTok trends. Fun for a week, forgotten by the weekend. And that's exactly what happened to Prime. The same kids who once thought Prime was liquid gold suddenly grew bored. They discovered new drinks, new creators, and new
Yeah, of course,
obsessions.
of
But the
course.
real problem wasn't
I mean, what do you expect, dude? You can't. I mean, you just can't do that. People are waking up, and I absolutely think it's well deserved that they got what they deserve. It's no joke. It's absolutely no joke. I mean, like, bro, if your drink is stuck in no man's land because it's too intense for kids and not regulated for like sports, you really gotta think into it. And that was right. As the minute I mentioned it, like soon after, like the government swooped in the video, and yeah, what the hell?
the kids moving on. It was that Prime never built anything for the people who don't move on. Adults don't care about the influencer drama, teens don't want to drink something their younger brother still thinks is cool. That's why Prime's entire identity stayed stuck in a world where neon packaging and YouTube beef mattered long after its buyers aged out of that world.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, cultural taste shifted. The same Gen Z that once begged parents for Prime started choosing cleaner, calmer brands. Drinks with real function, real ingredients, and real purpose. Celsius became the fitness flex, Liquid IV became the hydration fix, Alani Nu became the lifestyle pick. And that's what really killed the momentum. Prime aged exactly the way trends do, suddenly and without warning. The fall of Prime wasn't an accident. It was a reminder that when a brand is built on hype instead of substance, the moment the hype dies, the product has to stand on its own, and Prime
Ooh.
clearly wasn't ready for that test.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't you done clocking out. Oh boy.
but now, does Prime pull off a comeback and pretend this whole mess was part of the plan? Or was this the final chapter of a brand that peaked faster than the TikTok trend? Let me know what you think in the comments, and subscribe. But wait, before you go, let's talk about money. Student, 9 to 5 worker, or business owner, your paycheck disappears faster than Prime during
Yeah. I mean, that's not about the video anymore. So, bro, it's absolutely well deserved. That's all I gotta say to it. Absolutely well deserved. And I think people are finally waking up. I mean, like, it doesn't matter when it comes to what. I noticed the disappearance of those drinks. I really did. So, I like it. Yeah, with that being said, hope you enjoyed it and like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.